claim that a lesbian stud is still a woman, yet they fail to mention the fact that a straight woman is a woman who can look and act as a lesbian stud during sex for a masc fetish.
Like the way you do it.
Now I know what I just said is gonna go over your head. So let's just say straight woman can be a big booty Daphne. Let's talk about it, since men like to overlook this topic.
Ooh, girl, I like the way you do it.
Now what I say in this video shouldn't really go over your head. I mean, as much as you say a stud is still a woman, this topic should be understandable. And don't you straight women come in here and try to gaslight the situation either, okay? Some questions needs to be answered. A stud is still a woman, yes, but society has a problem with not recognizing that she is a masc presenting woman. What? To a man's sight, she actually lacks masculinity. Therefore, straight women should advise that they are women too who also lack masculinity. And even though they are feminine, they could dress masculine. I mean, clothes is clothes. So can you tell a straight woman to put on these clothes? I mean, all she needs is a do-rag, a sports bra, and some boxers. Man, now because men adore Daphne, who is a porn star that's actually a feminine woman in real life, but chose to look and act as a stud during sex on the hub. So why can't straight women draw the attention that they can actually dress like a lesbian stud during sexual intercourse? I mean, since they are women with the same body parts as a lesbian stud. Now men like to claim that a lesbian stud is their prey because they look at us like we're virgins. However, straight women are also virgins with a vagina that's either tight or loose. And additionally, the porn star Daphne, she actually faked her virginity, making it seem that, you know, she's a masc-presenting woman taking that D for the first time. So I must conclude that this is less about a woman's vagina, whether if it's tight or loose or not, but more to do with a predatory fantasy about trying to turn out a lesbian masc woman.
I like the way you do it.
Is this still going over your head? I hope that this is still not going over your head. But if it is, can we talk about the lesbian homie? Big Jaw convinced straight women to play as lesbian studs and also convinced one of them to be manipulated by one of her friends to have sex with a male in his skit. And his skit is just full of lust, sexual, and manipulation. Now, because the women who play studs in his skit are straight women, why do straight women never think to say Big Jaw made straight women play as studs, and men actually enjoyed it? And since men like to see straight women pretend to be masc-presenting women, I mean, yes, a stud is a woman, but I'm a woman too, and I could appear to act and dress like her for a man if he has that type of fetish where he likes masculinity. But here's the catch with that though. We all know straight women, they will never admit that to the world. A straight man will never acknowledge or bring up the fact that a straight woman is a woman who can also dress like a lesbian stud in the bedroom. Because a man knows that if he was gonna ask a straight woman to do that, she will assume that he is a gay man. Now, according to straight women, they said that they would not participate in this behavior because it would just be weird for them to act like a guy during sex. Now, straight women say that they prefer their boyfriend to actually want to hook up with someone who's already dressed masc-presenting. That way they don't have to wear man clothing. Now, some straight women get offended and wonder, why are lesbian studs putting us in this predicament, feeling that it has nothing to do with them? But see, what straight women fail to understand is, a man never says a stud is still a masc-presenting woman. Rather, he only states that a stud is still a woman, like a straight woman is a woman who has the same body parts as a lesbian stud. And even though she's feminine, she can dress and act manly during sex for a masc fetish. Because why? Well, she's a woman. Yet I feel men actually make you guys go blind and deaf. The thing is, men actually will blind straight women from seeing the truth. I mean, think about how men only draw the attention that a lesbian stud is a woman, but they never mention that straight women are women who can dress like a lesbian stud. Yeah, she's feminine, but she can look masculine. Basically, let's just say it can be a little something like this. You see that? Yeah. See how I ain't masculine no more? Y'all see that? Yeah. See? Y'all see that? Masculine gone real quick. Looking like a whole little fan.
I like the way you do it.
These days, straight women are misled to believe that a lesbian stud be secretly with a man, which is false because a lesbian stud would actually cheat on a woman for another woman. And you also gotta keep in mind that if a man wants to have sex with a woman, it will indicate that her sexual orientation is straight, bisexual, or just a different sexual orientation, not a lesbian stud. And also keep in mind, if a man wants to have sex with a woman that's masc presenting, it will indicate that a man has sex with a masc presenting woman, or a masc presenting woman slept with him, or a masc presenting woman got pregnant by a man, or the man got a masc presenting woman pregnant. You get me? It just can't be a stud, because, well, honey, he's a man. It's not a woman. Lesbian is just when it's woman involved. I also noticed that a lot of straight women believe in the myth about a bisexual lesbian stud. It's a myth because, well, a lesbian stud can't be bisexual. But there is a term called bi-masc. And whether you believe it or not, I feel like society gotta understand that there are masc presenting bisexual women out there. And whether she's covertly or openly, they exist. Now, any man that dates a masc presenting bisexual woman is actually an androsexual man. Androsexual is when you're attracted to masculinity sexually, regardless of someone's gender or sexual orientation. Men are manipulating straight women to be blindsided by a lesbian stud's masculinity. I mean, come on, that's outrageous. I mean, you're a woman who will point out that a woman is a woman knowing that you are a woman, and since you are a woman who is the same woman as a lesbian stud, yeah, you might be feminine, but all you gotta do is just dress like me and act like me, and bam, honey, you can be a stud too. I mean, you got the same body and the same appearance as me, honey. It can work. I know it can work for you. However, I feel like straight women choose to ignore the fact that men are very lustful sexual predators towards a lesbian stud. You gotta love the lies and the manipulation and all the excuses that these men be trying to brag online about a lesbian stud. I mean, men logic, it's terrible. Like, no offense to all the men out there, hope you don't get sensitive, but men logic is horrible. You point out a stud is a woman, but you don't indicate that a straight woman is a woman. You claim that a stud wearing clothing is just clothing, but you wouldn't ask a straight girl to put on them clothes. You mentioned that a stud has a tight vagina and she doesn't really take, and that's why you actually like her. Yet, you don't mention that straight women are also virgins, or the fact that they have a tight or loose vagina. Or what about the fact that some straight women out there don't really like to have sex on a day-to-day basis? And as a result, I'm pretty sure her coochie can be tight, even though she has some D. Just putting it out there. You point out there are bi studs, but you don't point out that lesbian studs are Black and Latinx masc lesbian women. You also mention that you have sex with a lesbian stud, but you don't mention that you're a man. And although you're a man, if you were to have sex with a woman, her sexual orientation will actually be bisexual, straight, or a different sexual orientation, not a lesbian stud. But most importantly, you men will never mention that you have sex with a masc presenting woman, or you know a masc presenting woman that be covertly or openly with men, or that the fact you know a masc presenting woman that got pregnant by a man. Because at the end of the day, that's what you're supposed to say. And that's just fact. Now, I know society, they like to sprint for lies. Society has a problem with sprinting for lies, but not running to the truth like a marathon. And I know that it's gonna take a long time, like a marathon, to convince you all about the truth. But the truth don't need support, the truth just needs some time. However, one thing about me, whether you like it or not, I speak facts. Bang! Hey, listen, like, subscribe, and hit that damn notification. Come on, what you doing, all right? I'm not funny, but I am an actor, and y'all can't tell me I'm not entertaining. Come on. I date studs. You're a man, and you find the stud sexually attractive, you are gay. Stop. Hold your comments.